Alright, hello, how are you getting on? This time last year I uploaded a video called 100 Days of Stardew Valley on easy mode. This is still the most popular video on my channel, which got me thinking, what if I do it again, but better? That is exactly what this playthrough is. I will be playing through not 100 days, but 112 days, aka an entire year. The goal here is to achieve perfection. That's it. We either do that or we fail this challenge. There are a few things I need to cover before we actually get into the playthrough. The short version is easy mode is not an official mode in the game, as in you can't do it without using mods. I wanted to start off with that one because I know it is bad news for some people who don't have access to these mods. I start with Iridium Tools, the Iridium Fishing Rod, the Tractor from the Tractor mod, both backpack upgrades, and Elliot's Pencil. I will also be using the Automate mod. Basically what this does is it takes items from a chest, puts them into a machine, and puts the item produced by that machine back into the chest. I do have the Shop Overhaul mod installed, which adds more items to the various shops in Pelican Town, but I don't know if I will actually use it. That is something that will be decided during spring. Finally, I will be starting on the first day of spring in year 2 so I can get access to all of the cooking recipes by the end of winter. And I will be able to meet Kent and get him to maximum friendship. Basically, this makes it possible for us to actually achieve perfection in 112 days. That basically covers everything. I will be going into more detail in regards to most of these things right after this, but if you would like to skip ahead to the actual gameplay, then feel free to go to the time shown on the screen now. Alright, let's get started with preparing for the playthrough. The first step is to use the CJB items menu mod to give us Iridium Tools and the Iridium Fishing Rod. And Elliot's Pencil, of course. This doesn't actually help us at all, I just kinda added it in for the meme. The next step is to use the CJB Cheats menu mod to give us enough gold to purchase the 2 backpack upgrades. In regards to the tractor, I don't need to get Robin to build it for us, I can just press the backspace key and it will appear beside me. Here are the settings I will be using for the tractor just in case anybody is interested. I was having problems with Willie's shop the first few times I tried to get everything set up. It seems like if you skip straight to year 2, you will be locked out of his shop. So to get around this, I head to Willie's and watch the cutscene where he gives us the fishing rod. Now his shop is open. The final step is to use the Cheats menu to set the date to the final day of winter in year 1. When we wake up tomorrow, it will be the first day of spring in year 2. And that covers everything, I think, so let's get started. Day 1 begins with a visit from Kent. He introduces himself to us, but more importantly, he adds himself to the list of villagers we can give gifts to. Marnie drops by next, accompanied by a dog. She wants to know if we will adopt the dog. The day I reject her offer is the day I realize I am no longer capable of having emotions. Of course, I adopt the dog. I lovingly name it Cheese in honor of the world-famous cheese expert James May, also known for his time on a show called Top Gear. But his work in the world of cheese is more important in my opinion. I grab the box of parsnip seeds Mayor Lewis oh so kindly left for us and get to work on clearing the farm. Surprisingly enough, I don't use the tractor immediately. No, you see, I want to be able to say that I at least planted something without using the tractor. Granted, I am using Iridium Tools, so that isn't exactly something to brag about, but look, it's nearly Christmas, alright? So, if you all let me have this one small victory, then I will consider it a collective present from all of you to me. Do we have a deal? I use the tractor to chop down some trees and I make a chest where I deposit the goods I've acquired along with some tools. Because we are starting in year 2, we have some mail to read. The first letter notifies us that the cost of raw materials at Robin and Clint's shops have increased. That is not exactly the best news for us to get on our first day, but we have the tractor, so I think we'll be okay in this area. Next up is a load of gibberish, quite frankly, from the Georgia Corporation. Long story short, the mine is now open. That's it, that's the entire letter, that's all they should have said. I watch a cutscene where Lewis shows us the community center. Once a hive of hustle and or bustle, it is now but a mere reminder of what the town once was. If only somebody could repair the community center, maybe a sense of solidarity could be brought back to the residents of Pelican Town once again. We shall return to the community center later and see what we can do. The special orders board has been built in the town center. Just in case anybody does not know what this is, it's a board, and you can use it to accept special orders. I visit the bulletin board, not to be confused with the aforementioned special orders board, where I see that Marnie is looking to receive a flounder. I'm going to accept this quest because I want to help Marnie. Okay, no, it's actually because completing quests gives us friendship points for the villager we help. Alright, no, I'm lying. It's really because we get money for completing these quests. And to quote CM Punk, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. At the special orders board, not to be confused with the bulletin board, Robin has 2 special orders for us. I choose her order to collect 1,000 pieces of stone in 1 week. There are a couple of reasons for this. Number 1, the reward for completing this special order is a crafting recipe for a stone chest. Number 2, we get to keep the stone we gather. And number 3, the tractor will make it laughably easy to complete this one. I head to the mines where Marilyn gives us the rusty sword. I head into the mines and magically pull the tractor out of my pocket. I am immediately reminded of why I had so much fun during the original easy mode playthrough. It is so incredibly satisfying breaking rocks this way. It's almost like going up to a vending machine that dispenses dopamine every single time you press the button. And the best part about it? It's free. Another fantastic benefit of the tractor is the effect it has on floors that are full of monsters. Normally going through one of these floors with the rusty sword takes all of the neurons in my body away and replaces them with sad face emojis. But the tractor trivializes this whole process and turns those sad faces into happy faces. Not only are we collecting a ton of stone, we're also getting copper ore, geodes, coal and various gems. I open a chest on floor 20 and receive the steel smallsword. This is a very nice upgrade. I almost feel bad for the monsters we will encounter now that I'm equipped with this sword. One of the monsters I defeat drops an ancient seed. At this point, one of the slimes could drag me off the tractor, steal it and use it to destroy my house, and I would not mind at all. I would still be way too happy about getting the ancient seed to even care about that. I make it to floor 40 at around 8 PM. The goal is to reach floor 80 by the end of the day. I'm sure other people could make it to floor 120, aka the bottom of the mines, by the end of the first day with the tractor, but I'm not good enough to do that. That reminds me actually, a YouTuber and streamer called Habu made a 100 days video where they started on day 1 of year 2 and achieved perfection on the final day of year 2. I would highly recommend checking that video out if you get the chance. Not only is it interesting and entertaining, but it's also very impressive that Habu managed to do that. I will have the link to that video in the description of this one. I obtain the bone sword from a skeleton, which increases our power even more. I managed to make it to floor 79, but unfortunately I passed out before I can make it to floor 80. I missed out on my goal by 1 single floor. You know what? I'm happy with that. I think that's pretty good, all things considered. I managed to level up my mining and combat skills a bit today too. Clint pays us a visit on the morning of day 2. He gives us the crafting recipe for the furnace. I make 10 furnaces, place them down beside my house, place a chest beside them, and toss my coal, copper, and iron ores into the chest. Like I said, I am using the automate mod, so the furnaces will smelt the ores by themselves. Robin sends us the crafting recipe for the stone chest as a way of rewarding us for completing her challenge to collect 1,000 pieces of stone. I don't think she knows I used a tractor to do this, and I would like to keep it that way. I would be so upset if she took the crafting recipe away from me after finding out I used a bit of a scallywag method to obtain the stone. I head to the beach where I do a bit of fishing. I catch a flounder and give it to Marnie to complete the quest she gave us. I buy a deluxe speed grow, donate some items to the museum, and collect the 3 rewards available to me. An ancient seed, the crafting recipe for ancient seeds, and 9 cauliflower seeds. I go into Clint's shop, throw my items into a chest, and ask him to break open the various geodes I obtained yesterday. I donate the items I receive from this to the museum, then I return to the general store to buy 1 of each spring seed that I don't have yet. Just to clarify, we can buy garlic seeds and deluxe speed grow because we started in year 2. I plant my seeds, then I return to the mines to continue our mission to reach floor 120. Right now, I'm not too concerned with collecting things like gold ore and breaking every rock. I just want to get through the mines as fast as I can. I receive the Obsidian Edge Sword on floor 90, followed by a star drop on floor 100. While the boost it gives to our maximum energy is very nice, the only thing that will actually require us to use energy is fishing because of a beautiful vehicle known as the tractor. At around 1 AM, I uncover a ladder and make it down to the final floor. I obtain the Skull Key. This key is used to open the door to the Skull Caverns, an area we will hopefully reach in the very near future. We need to defeat 10 green slimes to gain access to Marlin's shop, so I spend the short remainder of the night working on this. I reach level 5 in mining and I choose the perk that gives us extra ores. Mother has decided to send us 500 gold on day 3. What an absolutely marvelous gift to receive. I am feeling tremendously lazy today, so I decide to use the tractor to water my seeds. Next, I decide to do a bit of landscaping on the farm. And by landscaping, I mean I completely destroyed every tree and stone on the farm. If there is one thing I cannot stand, it is feeling like my farm is cluttered. I simply do not like the vibe that it produces. Also, chopping down trees gives you foraging XP, so this was a win-win. Here is a look at Robin's shop with the shop overhaul mod installed. Like I said in the intro, I'm not going to buy anything that is added by this mod yet. I will wait and see how spring goes before I make a decision on what to do. I do, however, ask Robin to add a silo to the farm. This way, when I get rid of the grass on my farm, it will add hay to the silo. Also, look at Cheese sleeping by the furnaces. He's such a sleepy boy. I do a little foraging run and already we're getting gold star daffodils. These will be excellent gifts for the villagers. Clint would like us to bring him 35 copper ores. We get to keep the ores after he inspects them, which is very good for us. The general store is closed on Wednesdays. Thank you for inconveniencing me, sir. I talk to Elliot on the beach and pick up some clams. I make my way to the forest where I use the tractor to decimate the local tree population. The log that blocks the entrance to the secret woods has been removed, so we now have access to this area too. I genuinely cannot even begin to describe how satisfying this is. And, like I said, we also get foraging XP for doing this, as well as things like wood, mixed seeds, and fiber. I make sure to replant some trees after my escapades. I also plant some tree seeds on the farm. I want to make sure I have a steady supply of wood throughout the entire year. I plant a rice shoot beside the little pond and toss a few items into the shipping bin. I'm going to be making a very conscious effort to ship every item as soon as possible. It's off to the mines for the rest of the night where I utilize my trusty tractor to get the copper ore Clint asked for. I've got a little bit of time left at the end of the night, so I quickly plant the mixed seeds I have. I reach level 5 in foraging, so I choose the perk that gives us a chance to get 2 of any forage item we pick up. Mr. William would like us to catch 3 carp on day 4. That's not a bad quest at all, I will happily accept that one. It is Kent's birthday, so I give him a gold star daffodil. You know what? Kenny. I will now be referring to Kent as Kenny. For no reason other than Kent reminds me of Kenny from the Walking Dead games. I present the copper ore to Clint, completing his quest. I have been very productive so far. I am feeling pretty proud of myself, I must say. I buy as many potato seeds as I can, then I spend the rest of the day fishing. Some bubbles pop up, which is very fortunate because bubbles make fish appear quicker, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know the whole bubbles lore, if I'm being honest. I don't know how these work. Day 5 begins with the harvesting of parsnips. While I may not be the biggest parsnip fan in the world, carrots are infinitely superior in my humble opinion. I still hold them in high regard as they were the first crop I ever harvested in this beautiful little game. The rest of the day is spent fishing. It is raining, which means we have the opportunity to get catfish and shad. I want to get both for the fishing collection of course, but I am primarily focusing on catfish as they sell for a pretty penny. I make a scarecrow on day 6 and plop it down in front of the ancient seed I planted. Not only will this ensure the safety of the seed, it also prevents a scenario in which I have to throw hands with a crow who has decided that my ancient seed would make for a tasty snack. Now that the silo has been built, I can safely convert the grass on the farm to hay. William wants us to catch 4 anchovy. As much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to pass on this quest. I have big plans for the very near future, and they do not involve fishing. They involve the mines. I spend the rest of the day in this location, collecting gold ore, gems, and overall just working on increasing my mining skill. I watch the Queen of Sauce TV show on day 7 and learn how to make pizza. Also, I forgot to mention, reruns of the Queen of Sauce TV show play every Wednesday. We missed out on every cooking recipe in year 1, so these reruns are how we will learn the recipes we missed. I'm also going to be completely honest here. I don't know if by watching every rerun in year 2, we will be guaranteed to learn all of the recipes we missed in year 1. I hope that's how it works, but there could very well be a possibility that we will get to the final day of year 2 and be missing a cooking recipe. If that happens, then we have failed this challenge, and that would not be very cash money. I consider buying a rare seed and a coffee bean at the travelling cart, but I decide against it. I will be making big money moves very soon, so I don't want to be making any purchases right now. That, and I also can't afford these 2 items, so, there you go. I head to the community center and read the Golden Scroll. If I'm being honest, read is a bit of an exaggeration because I have no idea what it says. I cannot read the language it is written in. Not yet, anyway. You see that? That's a little bit of foreshadowing. I don't know if I'm making a YouTube video or an M. Night Shyamalan movie at this point. Once again, it is off to the mines for the rest of the day. I am fully aware that I'm spending quite a bit of time in this location, but this is all part of my master plan. All shall be revealed in due time. The wizard sends us a letter on day 8. He is aware that we went into the community center and found the Golden Scroll. He wants us to pay him a visit in his tower. If I got a letter from somebody called M. Rasmodius telling me that their sources let him know that we've been exploring a local building and told me to meet him in his tower in the forest, I would immediately leave town and never look back. Some potatoes and parsnips are ready for harvest, not enough to be excited about, but I'm still grateful for these crops. I visit the wizard and he teaches me how to read the scroll in the community center. It seems like the wizard is under the impression that I'm going to rebuild the community center. The wizard thinks too highly of me. That's not me saying I'm going to go for the Joja route though. Actually, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm doing the Joja route. I figure I might as well let you all know now so you can click off the video if you don't want to watch a playthrough where somebody doesn't repair the community center. I understand if that's what you decide to do. I do not blame you at all. The reason why I'm doing this is it's a lot easier to complete the Joja route and unlock Ginger Island than it is to complete the community center. And the sooner we get to Ginger Island, the more likely we are to achieve perfection by the end of the year. Once again, it is back to our home away from home, the mines. Using the tractor in the mines gives me the same sense of happiness I felt watching Cody Rhodes make his return at WrestleMania 38. For any of you who don't watch wrestling, I am basically very happy right now. I reach level 10 in mining and choose the perk that gives a 50% bonus to the money we earn from selling metal bars. Like Triple H putting on a new outfit, the game has changed. I earn almost 40,000 gold mainly because of the gold bars I sold. Demetrius blesses us with his presence on day 9. He has a proposition for us. We can either choose to have mushrooms grow in the cave on the farm, or we can have fruit show up in the cave. Ordinarily, I would go with the fruit because it makes it easier to get the fruit I need for the shipping collection. But I want to challenge myself just a teeny bit considering how easy I've made things already. So I go for the mushrooms instead. A bunch of potatoes have grown, so I collect them. Are there enough potatoes for me to be excited about? Yes. Absolutely yes. Especially because it's all potatoes. Potatoes are sensational. I will be honest, I do feel like my laziness has reached new heights as I use my tractor to water the few seeds that are still growing. Also, I have not forgotten about working on my friendship with the villagers. I'm making sure to give marvelous gifts to all of them. The one thing I don't want to happen is to fall behind on our friendships. It is very easy for me to forget about talking to the villagers and giving them some nice items, so I'm making sure I stay on top of it. I also want to make somewhat of a good impression on these people before I put the final nail in the coffin of the community center. Speaking of which, it is time to do exactly that. I head to Joja Mart and buy a Joja membership. The Joja route has now officially begun. But make no mistake about it, I did not sell out. I bought in. I did this for all of the villagers. Okay, no, I did this for a few of the villagers. I did this to make sure I can get to Ginger Island really quickly. Alright, I did it because I like the colour blue and Joja Mart is blue. The wizard has a special order for us. He would like us to defeat a prismatic slime, collect the prismatic jelly it drops, and bring it to him. I will get around to this eventually. But for now, I want to catch the fish that show up in the mines. I go to floor 20 because I want to start with the stonefish. I catch a ghost fish followed by another ghost fish. Next we have a third ghost fish. A fourth one does pop up and I do catch it, but this one is iridium quality as opposed to gold quality, so I'm not too annoyed about this one. Of course, next we have a fifth ghost fish followed by a sixth ghost fish. Yeah, this isn't working. I swap to floor 60 so I can get the ice pip. I catch a ghost fish, then I pass out. On day 10, I watch a Queen of Sauce rerun and learn how to make coleslaw. Demetrius wants a cave carrot. I have plenty of these, so I will happily accept this quest. I make my way to Joja Mart where I spend 40,000 gold to unlock the bus to the desert. Part 1 of my master plan has just been achieved. I give a carrot to Demetrius as he requested. I am such a good person. Then I return to the mines to continue our fishing adventure. Will I have better luck today than I did yesterday? No. No, not at all. The same thing happened. I kept getting ghost fish. At this point, the playthrough might as well be called I played 112 days of Stardew Valley and was haunted by the ghost fish. Once again, I opt for a change of scenery. I do some fishing on floor 100 where something not that chill happened. I got a bunch of trash. I did not catch the lava eel. That is it. That is the entire day. I'm going to cry. Day 11. Let's just forget about yesterday. It's not canon, alright? Yesterday never happened. I impatiently await Pam's arrival at the bus stop, purchase a bus ticket, and arrive at the desert. I immediately enter the Skull Caverns, and of course I call upon my Lyle steed, aka the tractor. I pick up crystal shoes on floor 22. I love these shoes. This Skull Cavern run is already a massive success. Anything that happens after this is just a lovely bonus. I'm not too concerned about breaking every rock I find on the early floors. The main priority is getting to around level 100 as fast as possible. That is when we will start getting quite a bit of iridium ore. Thanks to the perk I picked at mining level 10, iridium bars sell for 1500 gold. As soon as we start throwing the iridium ore into furnaces, there won't be enough yeast in the world for the amount of bread we'll be making. On top of this, we're also picking up a lot of really good items. We can get dinosaur eggs from the Pepper Rex monsters, as well as a decent amount of copper, iron and gold ore, diamonds, emeralds and pretty much every other gem. We can give these gems to the villagers. Omni geodes are also easy to get now, so that will help us with the museum collection. There are also chests in the Skull Caverns that will give us some valuable items. I make it to floor 134 at 7 PM. Floor 134 is not significant or important in any way, shape or form. I do not know why I specifically mentioned it here. Anyway, at this point I've got over 300 iridium ore, a couple hundred copper, iron and gold ore, various gems and even a prismatic shard. I get a crystallarium from a chest and pick up another prismatic shard on floor 159. It turns out it's pretty easy to get prismatic shards when you can break every rock on a floor in like 10 seconds. Who would have thunk? At around midnight, I make the executive decision to leave the Skull Cavern. I am very happy with the loot I have acquired here today. I exchange a prismatic shard for the galaxy sword, make 21 furnaces, pop them beside the existing furnaces and toss my ores and coal into the chest attached to them. I did have a bit of a silly goose moment though. I wanted to put a diamond into the crystallarium I picked up today, but I passed out before I could. Mr. Key sends us a letter on day 12. He has challenged us to make it to floor 25 of the Skull Caverns. Already done, brochacho, give me my money. When I opened the chest beside my furnaces, my eyes were blessed with a beautiful sight. 31 iridium bars are ready. I make a sizable donation to the museum, sell my purple gold to Clint, and start the process of opening up all of the geodes I have. This was a gargantuan task and took up many minutes of my time as I went from cracking open geodes to donating the items I received to cracking open more geodes and so on and so forth. Despite donating a small percentage of my lifespan to this task, I do have to admit that it was absolutely worth it as we get multiple prismatic shards and the museum is quickly filling up. I am strong enough also to admit when I have made a mistake, and this is unfortunately one of those moments. Basically, I realized after I was done with all of this that it would have been more worthwhile to go through the magma geodes and normal geodes first as opposed to the omni geodes. The reason for this being we can trade our omni geodes for artifact troves in the desert. Actually, you know what? Mistake isn't the right word for it. As the great Bob Ross once said, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. Speaking of happy accidents, I go into the Joja Mart and purchase the minecart upgrade. Yeah, look, I'm not proud of the fact that I'm doing the Joja route. Ignore everything I said previously, I'm actually very ashamed of it. It is time now for us to work on the special order the wizard gave us. Just to refresh your memory in case you have forgotten, he wants us to find a prismatic slime, collect the prismatic jelly it drops, and deliver it to him. This whole process of obtaining prismatic jelly has always been very hit or miss for me. And make no mistake about it, today was a miss of seismic proportions. My frustration levels rose higher and higher as a prismatic slime simply refused to show up. Dare I even say that my frustration was so strong that it registered on the Richter scale. I'm exaggerating for comedic purposes, of course, only slightly though. I was truly a bit miffed about this whole kerfuffle. The end result of this whole ordeal was I did not obtain the prismatic jelly. This was an upsetting end to a good day. Long story short, 9 out of 10. Gunther pays us a visit on day 13. He thanks us for our contributions to the museum and gives us the key to the sewer as a thank you. Sweet, now we can meet Krobus and work on our friendship with him. Mr. Key has given us our 10,000 gold reward for reaching floor 25 of the Skull Caverns. Alright, listen. I need everybody right now to agree that we won't tell Mr. Key that I used a tractor to go through the Skull Caverns. I don't think he would be too pleased with me if this information was revealed to him. Moving on quickly now, some cauliflower is ready for harvest. Today is already a fantastic day. This is making me feel a lot better about the prismatic jelly incident. I toss some gold and iridium bars into the shipping bin. I'm already starting to feel like a bit of an entrepreneur, and I do a quick forage run at the bus stop. I probably did not have to mention that, but it's something small that brings me happiness, so I want to share that. The good news train continues to roll steadily along the tracks as the Egg Festival takes place today. I buy 985 strawberry seeds, which honestly caught me off guard. I did not think I would be able to buy that many. This is going to put us in a very good position later in spring. Next up is the egg hunt. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I absolutely steamrolled the competition here. I collected egg after egg after egg with a completely unparalleled amount of speed and efficiency. I almost felt bad for the villagers competing against me, almost. So much so that I made myself believe that every one of these villagers was given the option of adopting the dog Marnie brought to her farm on day 1, and they all said no. That is the only reason why I will be able to sleep tonight without constantly thinking about how I took a friendly competition this seriously. Also, planting all of the strawberry seeds I bought has led to a significant increase in the production of serotonin in my body. I also earn over 100,000 gold from the sale of iridium and gold bars. I love this game. I love this game so much. When it goes well, it just goes well. Mother has sent us a pink cake on day 14. I learned how to make hash browns, which, by the way, hash browns are incredible. Hash browns and a nice cup of tea is always a phenomenal way to start the day. I head to the beach and use 300 pieces of wood to rebuild the broken bridge. Now we can access the tide pool area. This is a wonderful little area. I am always very happy when I unlock it. I enter the sewer for the first time and introduce myself to Krobus. I buy 2 crafting recipes and a star drop from him. Our shopping spree continues as I pay 35,000 gold to unlock the greenhouse. Next stop is Robin's, where I ask her to build a coop on the farm. Again, I also buy multiple crafting recipes from her. Finally, I head to the mines where I ruin my day once again. I failed to obtain prismatic jelly. I am the opposite of happy right now. Evelyn shows up on day 15 to brighten up our day. She gives us the garden pot. This allows us to grow a crop inside it. Assuming the garden pot is indoors, we can grow a seed from any season in it. For example, starfruit seeds can only be planted during summer on the farm. But if I was to go to Sandy's shop in the desert and purchase a starfruit seed, I could plant it in the garden pot. I'm not going to do that though. I don't know why I even said all of that. Moving on very quickly now, I harvest some spring forage that has grown, make some spring seeds and plant them. I felt like our smelting situation was not as efficient as it could be, so to rectify that dilemma, I made some more furnaces. Now we will be producing dozens if not millions of bars every day. It is salmonberry season, which normally would be a very good thing for us as salmonberries are a decent source of energy during spring. However, we have something better than salmonberries at our disposal. Complete, unlimited sheer willpower. And a tractor. I give Pam a parsnip as a thank you for being our personal bus driver, and I give a pink cake to Marnie just because I feel bad for the way Lewis treats her. If you are not aware of the whole situation, Marnie wants to be in a relationship with Lewis. He does not want to be in a relationship with her but still strings her along. That is diabolical behavior. I know I normally use words like diabolical in like a comedic sense. This is not one of those moments. I'm being seriously right now. I purchased the bridge upgrade. Pam has a special order for us. She wants some potato juice. We don't have any kegs right now, but I feel like this special order will give us the motivation we need to start producing kegs. So I accept it. There is one small problem though. You unlock the crafting recipe for kegs when you reach level 8 in farming. Yeah, we need to hustle with this one. We have 14 days to do all of the following. Reach level 8 in farming, make tappers, attach them to oak trees, wait 7 days for them to produce oak resin, make kegs, put potatoes into the kegs, wait 4 days for them to produce potato juice and give it to Pam. Yeah, that's not happening. I will not be able to do that. I'm just going to give up before I even get started on this one. Also, I have decided that I will not be using the shop overhaul mod. It is simply too good to use alongside an easy mode playthrough. To make myself feel better about not utilizing the shop overhaul mod, I decide to purchase 25 of each spring seed along with an extra 25 parsnip seeds. Our farm is looking splendiferous with all of the strawberry seeds we have planted. But I believe it could look even more splendid with the planting of even more seeds of various types. So that is exactly what I do. We now have over 1,200 seeds planted on the farm. And you know what? That still isn't enough. I want to get to the point where the entire farm is covered with seeds. Then and only then will my appetite for seeds be satiated. In rather dreadful news, however, I am too late to purchase a ticket to the desert. But even if I had not been late, I still wouldn't even have enough gold to afford a ticket. Woe is me, and me is woe, and we is mo. In lieu of a Skull Cavern adventure, I opt to go through the mines. The primary goal here is to collect copper ore, which will be used for the production of more furnaces and copper bars. Day 16 begins with the most satisfying watering session of all time. I could feel my right arm begin to shake slightly out of excitement as the ground turned from light brown to dark brown. This is what easy mode is all about. Having the power to water over 1,000 crops in the space of 30 seconds. I sell some cave carrots to Caroline's husband and use the money to fund my trip to the desert where I enter the Skull Caverns. I have begun incorporating the spicy eel dish into my Skull Cavern skylarking sessions. The spicy eel dish gives a +1 to our speed when we eat it. This speed bonus also affects the speed of the tractor, which is just gravy. I get a rain totem in a chest on floor 128, which is a very nice pickup. I am very happy about that one. I end up completing the Pepper Rex monster eradication goal tonight, which I was not expecting, but I will gracefully accept. Just after 1 AM, the satisfaction I feel regarding the state of my inventory is so high that I decide to use a warp totem to get back home. I toss every ore I have into my furnaces except of course for the copper ore. These are used to make more furnaces, all of which I manage to place before the night is over. It is day 17 and the script for this video is already over 6,000 words. Spring is going to be like 50 minutes long. I hope you've all got a nice drink and maybe even some snacks with you because I'm only just getting started. I will be so happy if I can start every morning off by watering a field of seeds. I do not know why, but it is a feeling I can only describe as a purification of the soul. I sell some iridium bars to Clint, then I fulfill the prophecy and buy the final upgrade in JojaMart. What prophecy is that, you may ask? I don't know, it's sort of a plot hole really. Anyhoomst, I visit Haley and Emily's house where they are arguing. Haley does not want to clean under the cushions. Unfortunately for them, I am not here to resolve their argument or to help them reach a compromise. No, you see, I am here on very important business. I combine a piece of cloth with a field snack to make a denim jacket. That is the important business, which I am sure we can all agree is a far more valuable use of time than helping Emily and Haley with their kerfuffle. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop on our farm, then it is off to the quarry where I continue the tradition of eradicating the nature vibe of every location I visit. I plant many tree saplings here though, so technically I'm actually making the place more environmentally friendly. I spend quite a bit of time in the Skull Caverns. I find some iridium sprinklers in a chest on floor 63. While I won't need these for the main farm, they could be useful in the greenhouse. I also find a cowboy hat on floor 135, which means it is officially time to retire the straw hat I received for winning the egg hunt. I remain here until around 1 AM, at which point I head to the Desert Trader and exchange my Omni Geodes for artifact troves. I also exchange diamonds for triple shot espressos and rubies for spicy eels. If we consume both of these items at the same time, we will get +2 speed boost. I deposit the ores I collected into the furnaces chest, save for the copper ores which I use to make more furnaces. I would like to begin day 18 by showing you what a typical hardwood collection run looks like. I literally just drive the tractor through the secret woods. I break all 6 tree stumps here, which gives us 12 hardwood every time. I also catch the wood skip while I'm here. Next up is a very special cutscene. Morris, the manager of the local Joja Mart, has thrown a little celebration for us. You know what? I may not be the biggest fan of Joja, but it's nice to feel appreciated, and that is exactly how the members of Joja have made me feel. They also gave me a soda machine, so I no longer feel bad for taking the Joja approach. I wanted to give Krobus a horseradish, but I can't as I've already given him 2 gifts this week. That is deeply upsetting. I sell 111 iridium bars to Clint, earning us a tasty 160,000 gold. I immediately purchased 250 coal before starting the process of having all of our artifact troves broken open. We are getting some nice things like a pearl, a treasure chest, and various artifacts. I donate said artifacts to the museum, then I check how much progress we have made. It turns out we have made quite a bit of progress. I only have to donate 1 more mineral, which is marble. I can get this from frozen geodes and omni geodes. I still have to donate 16 artifacts, which honestly isn't too bad. I can get most of them from artifact troves and I can use the tractor to easily dig up the ground to get the others. So overall, I would say things are looking pretty nice for us in this area. I finally introduced myself to Sandy, the owner of the shop in the desert. I should have done this sooner, my bad. I buy 25 rhubarb and beet seeds along with a full stack of deluxe speed grow. 100 starfruit seeds are also acquired during this little shopping spree. I give Pamela a prismatic shard as a birthday present. She responds by telling me to go away. You know what? I have heard worse from people who I respect a lot more, so this didn't bother me. The wizard has requested a cave carrot. I love getting handy quests like this one. I buy 25 garlic seeds and 1 of each fruit tree sapling. I then spend 5,000 gold on sugar. I don't know why I did that. A nice blue wallpaper and flooring is on sale, so I decide to scoop them up. I plant the garlic and rhubarb seeds I bought, plant the fruit tree saplings, and get my greenhouse set up. I have 4 iridium sprinklers, thanks to the time I spent in the Skull Caverns, so I don't have to worry about coming in here and watering the seeds every day. The seeds in question being starfruit seeds and beet seeds. I also sprinkle deluxe speed grow on them. I do have some unfortunate news though. It seems like my very being has been infected with the Joja gene. Without even realizing what I was doing, I converted my house from a cozy cottage to a shrine dedicated to Joja. I even turned off the fireplace, perhaps a metaphor for the manner in which my heart has been turned cold after allowing the community centre to be destroyed. I decide that a moment of peace is needed, not only because of my conversion to a fully fledged Joja member, but also because the last 18 days have been nothing short of hectic. I sit on a chair on my porch and do nothing for the rest of the night. This was absolutely therapeutic. I listen to the hum of the furnaces, the smooth crackling tickling in my ears, and observe the natural beauty of the farm. My soul once again feels at peace, the beating of my heart has slowed, and I feel absolutely sterling. I needed this reset. I needed it so much. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's get back to business. William sends us a letter on day 19. He wants us to come to his shop when we get the chance. He also said something a bit weird at the end. P.S. I have noticed that my left hand shakes when I eat dirt. This is the first time it's happened during my 25-year streak of eating dirt every day. Do you know anything about this? I am starting to get a bit concerned. No. No, sorry, Willie, I don't know anything about that. Moving on now from that, situation, I toss a dinosaur egg into the incubator in the coop. A lizard will hatch from it in 12 days. Many parsnips are ready for harvest. After collecting those, I head to the quarry where I entered the mines. I make it to the end where I obtain the golden scythe. This was an absolutely grueling task, one which I almost failed many times. It took every ounce of passion and dedication of my body to obtain this wonderful tool, and I am not being serious at all. It took like maybe 20 seconds at the most to do this. Which makes sense, of course, because I'm using the tractor. I ask Robin to upgrade the coop. No, I don't actually. I can't afford it. That's kind of embarrassing. I sell some iridium bars to Clint, then I return to Robin's and actually have the coop upgraded this time. I head to the shop owned by Abigail's father, where I purchase 50 of each spring seed. I plant all of these seeds, then I do my regular hardwood collection run in the secret woods. It is time now to begin a very special mission given to us by the wizard. I meet him at the mountain area where he instructs us to head to the mutant bug lair, an area that can be found in the sewers. Our good acquaintance Krobus gives us a hand as he opens the door to the mutant bug lair. Before I head in, however, I decide that now is the perfect time to do a bit of fishing. A legendary fish called the mutant carp can be caught here in the sewers. In what has become a bit of a trend when it comes to fishing, the fish I wanted, in this case the mutant carp, did not show up. With a heavy heart, I enter the mutant bug lair where I attempt to catch another new fish called the slimejack. Thankfully, this fish actually does appear and I catch it. I meticulously maneuver my way through the area and collect the dark talisman at the end. In what would end up being a terrible decision, I spend the rest of the night fishing in the sewers trying to catch the elusive mutant carp. I failed. I am awoken on day 20 by the sound of Cheese snoring loudly. He's such a Gouda dog. Do you get it? Like good dog, but like Gouda because of Gouda cheese. I'm sorry. I harvest some kale, then I collect some more hardwood. I'm going to stop mentioning the hardwood collecting thing from now on. You can just assume I collect hardwood pretty much every day. I make 9 lightning rods and place them a bit haphazardly on the farm. I'm not too concerned with the visual aesthetic of the farm right now though, I'm all about the productivity side of it. I venture into the Skull Caverns, and at this point there's not much to say about the Skull Cavern runs that I haven't said before. We're getting a ton of Omni Geodes, ores and gems every single time. It's also a lot less stressful than normal Skull Cavern runs. I said it before, I will say it again. It is so incredibly satisfying doing this with the tractor. I get another Crystallarium on floor 84, followed by 2 Rain Totems on floor 86 and 1 more on floor 100. I trade my Omni Geodes for artifact troves, then I spend the rest of the day in the mines with a heavy focus on collecting artifacts. Using the hoe to dig up the ground here yields significant results as I get multiple artifacts I still need to donate to the museum. I reach level 5 in farming, so I choose the perk that gives us a 10% bonus to the gold we get from selling crops. I learn how to make a complete breakfast on day 21, and a beautiful sight awaits me when I leave the house. All of the strawberries have fully grown, which means it is time for our first strawberry harvest. Blue jazz, tulips, and potatoes are also ready for collection. Also, if you use a rain totem on a stormy day, there will be a storm on the following day too. So that is exactly what I do here. I'm going to do this a couple more times so we can get more battery packs. Speaking of battery packs, the lightning rods I created yesterday have produced some, so I collect them. A battery pack is a very valuable item for multiple reasons. They are needed for a couple of crafting recipes, and we need them to repair the boat that will take us to Ginger Island. Our bank account is looking pretty miserable right now, so I sell some iridium bars to Clint. I sell my strawberries, ask Robin to build a barn for us, and buy some chickens, ducks, and rabbits for a coop. The following animals have joined the family: Rhea, Finn, and JD the chickens, Dominic, Damien, Jimmy, Jay, and Solo the ducks, and Paul, Roman, Sammy, and Hornswoggle the rabbits. I buy 2 auto grabbers from Marnie. I have given her a ton of money today, along with a rare seed and a coffee bean from the travelling cart. I put an auto grabber into the coop and say hello to our new animals, then I plant a coffee bean right in front of a scarecrow to keep it safey-wafey. I spend the rest of the day fishing. I want to get to fishing level 9 at least before the end of spring. Days 22 to 26 are also spent fishing. Some other things happened during that period of time that I would also like to talk about, however. I reach level 10 in farming, so I choose the perk that makes crops grow 10% faster. An ancient fruit appeared along with some spring forage. I created a seed maker along with some more spring seeds. I did some frolicking through my little lightning rod area, collecting battery packs as I did before planting the spring seeds I made. I used another rain totem, tossed an ancient fruit into a seed maker, harvested beets, and planted 2 ancient seeds and a rare seed. Sebastian wanted a sardine. Lovely, I was able to get that for him very easily. I decided to give a prismatic shard to Abigail and her father, then I bought all of the fruit tree saplings a second time. I didn't want to run the risk of the ones I planted on the farm not growing properly, so these were thrown into the greenhouse very soon after I made this purchase. Krobus was next up on our list of gift recipients, followed by the aforementioned planting of fruit trees in the greenhouse. I attended the Flower Dance Festival, where I purchased the Tub of Flowers crafting recipe along with a rare crow. I decided to ask nobody to dance with me here. Quite frankly, I am not comfortable with any of them dancing with me or even being near me in any capacity. I do not want that. Nothing against the villagers, I simply do not wish to partake in any of that. Back to the present day now, as we begin day 27 with our second and final strawberry harvest of spring. Many other crops and forage items grew during the period I spent fishing, but I decided I would wait until now to harvest them so that we could all enjoy it together. I collect the battery packs that I've accumulated in the chest, harvest a tantalizing amount of starfruit in the greenhouse, and toss all of the starfruit into the shipping bin. I do not toss all of my other crops in there, however, only 1 or 2 of them each, so they'll be crossed off the list of items I need to ship as part of the shipping collection. I'm going to show me collecting hardwood here just because this was the moment when I got enough hardwood to repair the boat in Willie's shop. I grab a piece of wool from the auto grabber, make some tree fertilizer, and plant some mahogany tree seeds in the quarry. I'm going to need a significant amount of hardwood in the future, so these mahogany seeds will be a lifesaver. I sprinkle fertilizer on all of the seeds I have planted here and ask Robin to upgrade the barn. I give Emily a piece of wool for her birthday. I am actually really surprised I'm still making good progress on our friendships, and I check the special orders board. The wizard is giving us a second chance to acquire the prismatic jelly. That is tremendously kind of him, but I'm going to have to decline. You see, I just won't have enough time to go to the mines today or tomorrow. I have other things in mind. So instead, I accept Demetrius's order to catch 20 ocean fish. Hopefully, Rasmodius has enough kindness in his heart to give us another opportunity in the future. I enter Willie's shop, where the big man himself, Mr. William, shows us his dilapidated boat. He says he needs 200 hardwood, 5 iridium bars, and 5 battery packs to repair it. Well, Mr. Will-I-Am, have I got news for you. I have all of those things with me right now. How did I know you would require all of these materials? I'm actually a sidekick. Not a sidekick, no, but a sidekick. You see, my partner in crime told me that I would need all of these things to repair the boat, hence me being here with these items. In other news, Willie wants us to catch a sardine. Okay, now he's just being greedy. I have done way too much for him today already. I'm going to pass on that quest. As I predicted, we are going to fail Pam's special order to bring her potato juice. It's not all bad though. It did motivate me to plant oak trees in the quarry and unlock the crafting recipe for kegs, so I think I'm going to consider this I'll call it a win. Despite not actually completing the order, some good did come out of it. I use a rain totem, then I spend the rest of the day at the beach working on Demetrius's order. I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to talk about my plan for tomorrow. In short, I have two options. Option number 1, focus on catching the legend fish. The legend only shows up in spring on a rainy day when you have reached level 10 in fishing. I used a rain totem to make sure it rains tomorrow, and I'm currently level 9 in fishing, so I can buy a trout soup which will bump me up to level 10. The problem is, I have pretty much always struggled with catching the legend, so if I go with this option, it's almost a guarantee that I will be spending the entire day fishing. There is also a decent chance that I won't catch the fish at all, which would end spring on a bit of a sad note, and I don't really want that. Option number 2 is I spend the entire day on Ginger Island. I already like the sound of that. And the thing is too, tomorrow isn't my last chance to catch the legend. There's an item called Magic Bait. This type of bait allows you to catch any fish in any season, which means I can still catch the legend in summer or fall or winter. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Ginger Island tomorrow, I've just convinced myself. Alright, let's move on to the final day of spring. On day 28, I checked the progress I have made on this special order. I only have to catch 6 more fish to complete it. Nice. Here is an update on how our friendships have been going. You can tell straight away which villagers had a birthday in spring. Pam and Emily are on 5 hearts, a couple of villagers are on 4 hearts, most villagers are on 3 or 2 hearts, and a small amount are only on 1 heart. I'm not concerned about those villagers. By the time their birthdays come around, I'll be able to give them a gold star items that they love, which will give us a bonus 3 hearts of friendship with them. So, overall, I am very happy with how this whole thing is going. Of course, it goes without saying that we had easy access to gifts thanks to the tractor. We used it to get gems in the mines, and it also boosted our foraging level, which resulted in us picking up silver and gold star forage items, which also make great gifts for the villagers. The final harvest of the season comes in the form of cauliflower. I kinda wish it was potatoes, or even better, another strawberry harvest for even more gold, but this is still nice. I spent some time fishing at the beach to complete the special order Demetrius gave us. I immediately receive a reward of 1500 gold. But I will also receive the crafting recipe for the computer in the mail tomorrow. I buy 15 crab pots and set them up along the boardwalk, making sure to fill them up with bait as I do. I pay 1000 gold to be able to purchase a ticket to Ginger Island. Considering I single-handedly retrieved all of the items that were used to repair this boat, I don't think it's necessarily fair that I have to pay to be able to use it. But, I mean, at least that money is going to William, so I will let this one slide. I finally set foot upon the sandy shores of Ginger Island, and I immediately get to work collecting golden walnuts in the forest area. I collect a second walnut from a bush, then I obtain a third one by using an axe on a tree in Leo's treehouse. I watch a cutscene where I introduce myself to Leo, or at least I try to introduce myself to Leo. I have to collect a total of 10 walnuts before he'll speak to me. The good thing about using the tractor is it makes finding golden walnuts a lot easier. Or at least it would, but I forgot to bring my hoe with me. I feel very foolish right now. I run home and grab my hoe and the copper pan. I kinda panicked and decided to bring that with me too, just in case. I spend another 1000 gold on a ticket. I'm not mad, I just think I should get some sort of discount on the ticket at least. Then, as I was saying, the good thing about using the tractor is it makes finding golden walnuts a lot easier. I can just equip my hoe while I'm on the tractor and it will dig up a big patch of land in like 3 seconds. So, finding all of the walnuts that are hidden in the sand is a walk in the park. I make sure to collect every walnut I have access to in this area at this very moment before I enter the volcano dungeon. The first thing I do here is use my watering can to create a path leading to the left side of the entrance. I go through a door here and collect 2 golden walnuts on the other side. The rest of the day is spent going through the volcano dungeon. I obtain quite a few golden walnuts here by defeating monsters and breaking rocks. I am also getting some valuable items like a dragon tooth, pineapple seeds, cinder shards, and journal scraps. Some of these journal scraps will reveal the locations of hidden golden walnuts when I read them. Just to very quickly give my thoughts on spring, I feel like the first 28 days went pretty well. Comparing this playthrough to the original easy mode playthrough, I am already making far more progress in this one. I repaired the community center the last time I did this, so I didn't get to Ginger Island until the start of winter in that one. But in this playthrough, not only have I made it to Ginger Island already, I've also collected around 20 golden walnuts on the last day of spring. I hope you have all enjoyed watching my escapades during this season, and again, I do want to emphasize that the point of this whole easy mode playthrough isn't a showcase of skill or anything like that. It's more so just trying to have as much fun as possible with the upgraded tools and the tractor. I understand a playthrough like this isn't everybody's cup of tea, so if you've made it to this point and you're still 50-50 on the whole easy mode concept, then that's completely understandable. I just hope you found it entertaining up to this point. Anyhoomst, I will not waste any more of your time. I wasn't able to make it to the end of the volcano dungeon before I passed out, unfortunately, but that's okay. I can come back here tomorrow and avenge myself. And with that, I will see you all in summer.